Good morning, guys, or almost good afternoon. I guess if you're on the Eastern time, it's afternoon. Um, I'm on Central, so it's just turning 12 o'clock. Good afternoon, good morning, love you. Happy Tuesday, terrific Tuesday. It's Tina Lorraine, your certified abundant life coach. Hoping your day is going well and being marvelous and you're being great and wonderful in it. So here I is, y'all. I'm here to talk. I got my angel wings on. I have my angel attire on. I come to talk to you today. Um, I guess it's a good thing I'm a spirit life coach. I look very spirit today, don't I? um, I came to talk to you today, have a real conversation, guys. So it's going to be kind of a tough one again, but we're going to get through all things in love because part of love is tough love, and tough love sometimes don't feel too good, but it needs to be felt. So I just want to share something with you really quick. This goes back to people who have been sexually abused and being very overcritical of yourself. The reason why I want to talk about this is because it is a mindset that I want to help you to combat and to destroy. So, as I'm talking to you about this, if you see yourself in here, I want you to book a consultation with me. And I'm very serious about this because you can't continue to let yourself be your own enemy, because for so many years, guys, I was just the worst enemy. I didn't need anybody to come in and destroy me. I was doing it. I was just embracing the destruction like left and right. So I just want to come on to you and just talk about this being critical. Over the holiday weekend, I had went to a family reunion sort of thing, and like I told you before, I'm kind of the introverted type. I mean, I like people, but I'm not the most gregarious person, talking to everybody person. But if I'm in my comfort zone, I'm good. So we had this picnic or whatever, and I had a great, wonderful time. But I was exchanging numbers with some long lost cousins and whatnot, and we were taking pictures. I was taking pictures of people, and somebody had taken my picture. I was aware of one of them, and then the other one I was not aware of. And so I've always been real sensitive about taking pictures. You wouldn't know it today, right? That's because I'm healing. It's a progress, but so once I switched numbers with my cousin or whatever, I sent the pictures that I took of her and of other family members to her, and then she says, I'm going to send the pictures I took of you to you. And so she sent me the pictures, and I came home Sunday, and my self-talk was, looking back on it, I have these little snippets of, I don't want to see the picture. You know what it's going to look like. Don't open that kind of thing going on. So when I opened it and looked at it, glanced at it, immediately, guys, the floodgates of criticism, self-criticizing myself. And I will be the first to tell you, I have always that's been a weakness of mine in the past. It was being very hard on myself, very self-critical of myself. So I want you to pay attention that I said I glanced at these 2 pictures, only 2 pictures of me, because when nobody else taking pictures, and I was making sure, I wasn't necessarily in the picture. And I was cognizant when I was taking pictures. I felt my spirit saying you should be taking pictures with you in them. But I also felt my old damaged self going, it's not my comfort zone. I don't want to take any pictures. I'm comfortable in taking the pictures of people, not of myself. So I got home and I glanced at it, and immediately I just went in. I was just like, what am I working out for? What am I, look at that. Look at this part of my body and all this and all that at a glance. I just shut the whole pictures down. I was like, I don't want to look at that. I'm not going to feel bad about myself. I'm not going to look at that. But then the whole time in my head, this dialogue was in the background, just going, oh my goodness. All that hard work you're doing on your body is not paying off. Look at, all this, look at all that work you're doing. Look at, you know. And so this morning, when I got up and I was meditating, my spirit spoke to me and said, fall in love with who you are today, not in the tomorrow you. And I think I posted that today. Fall in love with who you are today and not in that future you, because in the becoming is the beauty of it in the first place. Every day we're becoming what we want to be. Every day we're progressing. Every day we're elevating. And I didn't go down a pit about this, guys, because I clearly recognized what it was. It was my old damaged self going, being overly critical. And see, when you're a victim of sexual abuse, you really have to combat hating everything about yourself. And so you have to be aware of the mindsets that go along with hating yourself. And this is one of them, being overcritical. How you have it, you're extra nitpicky about yourself. You're overly critical about what you've done, about your appearance, about how you do stuff, about how you think, about how you accomplish things. You're just extra nitpicky on yourself, hard on yourself, overly critical. And so what does that sound like? Well, in my case, in this example, because I've kind of always struggled with body image, and my, just overall loving myself for physical appearance. So it sounded like what I said, I guess I'll never, have this gym body that I want, or what it might sound like in you is like, I'm so tired of this, or when am I going to get it together, or I guess I'll never have, fill in the blank. Why am I doing all this working out? It's not working. I was saying like my legs are too big. I've always had big legs, guys. So it wasn't like it was some revelation that my legs are big. I have big athletic legs regardless of if I work out or if I don't work out, because I get them from my dad. And so, but see, when you're in that shaming, self-critical, overly critical, judgmental mindset that's probably been on autopilot for years and years, because mine was, even the things that you're just naturally blessed with are not a blessing, just critical. Oh, this is too big, that's too small, why can't this be this way? And so you're really seeing stuff. This is the trick of your mind, and this is the trick of trauma. You're really seeing stuff that nobody else sees, nobody's even focused on. And by being overly critical of yourself, you're not seeing all the progress that you have made, and what you are focusing on is distorted to the max, guys. It's so distorted. And it's blown out of proportion. And the reason why I know, and I could snatch myself back really quickly from this, I immediately knew why I felt that way. And so when my spirit led me today to open up that picture and to look at those pictures, look at them, not glance, but look. And I went to look at it, and I just saw very much how I was blowing things way out of proportion, and how I looked great. I felt great about myself. Immediately when I just looked at it, I felt my spirit saying, girl, look how beautiful your skin is. Look how much your arms have gotten smaller. Okay, so you got a little belly. So what? Big deal. It's not a big belly like it was, because you're working on it. Do you know, guys? After I just sat there and looked at that picture, I was like, why was I being so hard on myself? Why was I not loving myself? But it really wasn't me. That was the damaged Tina just rearing that damaged one that was used to be on autopilot. Thought it would sneak back in there and be like, girl, look it. And it's like, no, you know what? This ain't right. This ain't right. Because you have to love yourself. And when you're a victim of sexual abuse, it is very hard for you to love yourself. Because the reason why it's that we suffer a lot of times when we have been, victims of sexual abuse, why do we beat up on ourselves like this? It's because acts of rape and molestation are violations. They're violations against our bodies and our minds. It goes directly against what God has given you as a gift, which is your life, your body, your mind, the fact that you're a beautiful person, the gift of life. When you're violated, it screams directly against that. So it makes you feel like you have no control of your body or what happens to it. It makes you feel like you aren't important, that you're valueless because this person has come and just violates you in the most degrading way. Just, and it's violating things about your body that are very sacred, which are your sexual reproductive organs, right? God made sex, and sex is a beautiful, beautiful thing, but when you get violated sexually, you're not tending to look at sex as beautiful, and you're not tending to look at your body as beautiful, and you're not tending to look at your body parts as beautiful because you just feel worthless. It makes you feel worthless, and so you take on that persona of I'm worthless, I'm valueless, look what happened to me, and you don't even you're not quite aware that you're doing this because it becomes your normal. You just become used to it, and when it happens to you in different ways and through different people like it did to me, you just become very like, oh my gosh, this just your normal, and you don't accept the fact that God has given you a beautiful life, that sex is a gift, that you're a sexual being. See, when you get violated like that, it destroys all of that. It destroys your views of yourself and sex and just everything like that. So when I looked at that picture, when I actually went back and looked at it, I was like, girl, now that was that old Tina just jumped up real quick, the old one, and wanted to get you to believe that you were all this stuff. You're being, you're not this. You didn't do enough of that. Blah, 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 blah. And none of it, guys, was true. Remember when I said that you would distort and blow things out of proportion. You're focused on things that even people are not even looking at because you're all in your head about this stuff. And that's why we become our worst enemy. When we're sexually violated after the violence has happened, we become our worst enemies because we just don't know how to, unless we get healing, we're just like looking at ourselves as garbage. And so what are the solutions to this? I want you to listen to some of the solutions that that will work. Learn how to forgive yourself. And when I say, did you notice I didn't say forgive yourself, forgive the abusers, just like that? Because you have to learn how to do it. And I give you some insight in that. I have a video here on IGTV and on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, that says forgiving your sexual abusers. So go back and look at that and schedule your one-on-one consultation so I can help you in this area, help you learn how to forgive, because it's truly not something that's done just like this, When you get violated sexually, when you suffer sexual trauma, forgiving is a process. It's not something that's religious. It's not something that you can just go to church and say a bunch of hallelujahs and quote a bunch of scriptures over it. It's not that. So you have to learn how to forgive. So I can teach you how to do that. And another thing you have to do is you have to learn, how to truly see and value yourself as God has created you to be. And that comes from becoming love. That comes from embracing the love that God has created you with. And again, it's something that is learned. You have to learn how to do it. You have to ask God what you need to do to break free of being overly critical of your sexual trauma. And these are some of the things that I had to do. So I know God is going to tell you the same thing, but these are some of the things that I'm sharing, some of the solutions. But when you ask God to help you, aside from the solutions that I'm giving you and what God has did for me and what I'm sure he will do for you when you ask, he's also going to give you that unique plan for your deliverance as well. There are going to be some things that you just have to do off the cuff. You're just going to have to get therapy, hire a coach, meditate, these type of things, affirm. These are all solutions. But then he's going to use all those tools and navigate it to a unique fit for you. Okay? So that's why you need to ask God to help you to break free from your overly critical mind and your sexual trauma past. Always look at, this was the biggest thing that really helped me, guys, when I was went through this about this picture or anything else really. Always celebrate your accomplishments. You know what? When I started to look at just take out your Google Doc or your voice memo or your journal or a piece of paper and put down everything that you have accomplished. When I looked at that in the physical realm, I'm like, I am working out with a trainer in group classes like 4 times a week. On top of that, I'm doing the challenges that she gives us. So the challenge is that not just one challenge, but 2 challenges in addition to my workout. I'm also still self-healing from some autoimmune stuff that saps my energy literally, because severely anemic, like 2 steps off of a blood transfusion, literally. And I'm still doing all this work on my body, all this physical work. I take walks, I do workouts, I'm doing challenge work. Are you kidding me? This is like, when you really start to list your accomplishments and you look at what you're doing, what you have done, and I don't care how big or small you think it is, because your self-perception a lot of times is just off anyway. You think it's some small thing and it's really a big thing. You're going to start writing that stuff down and you're going to start looking at it. You're like, wait a minute, I'm doing all of this. I'm good. I'm doing good. And, considering my age and everything, all the, the health stuff, I'm just like, I am doing a great job. And I was thinking about how I had set these goals for my arms, because, I'm really not that great with upper body strength, with push-ups. And now I can actually do, what I call girl push-ups, the ones on your knees. I can actually do 10 of them, and I couldn't even do like 1 before. And I was just like, you know what, you got this, girl. What are you tripping on, girl? That was damage, Tina, trying to trick me for a second. And guys, that's another thing about when you're healing. It's a progression, The reason why I was able to snatch myself back so quickly is because all the tools I've been using, all the meditation and affirmations and just being open and aligned to God, in God's voice in me, and just being transparent with myself and with God, and just talking to God about everything, and just doing all that I know to do to be the best version of me. If you do that, nothing can stop you. Even when the old damaged self wants to come back and creep back in there and tell you, you're not doing it right, or you look this way, or you're not loved, or you're not wanted, or look at you, nobody values you. When that stuff starts happening, the more you do and you utilize these tools, the more you coach with me, work one-on-one, the quicker you'll be able to snatch yourself back quickly. You'll be like, that's not happening here. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. I am a beautiful woman. Are you kidding me? Look at this skin, child. You better get it together. Look at all this work you putting in your body. Look at you'll be more aligned to your God self. And that other damaged self, that voice will get smaller and smaller and smaller. But you got to do the work, guys. You got to do the work. So, having said that, I'm going to be having a class called Worth the Work in August. So, I need you to sign up for my mailing list by downloading your Successfully Single ebook or downloading the worksheets that I've done for you. You can download anything. You'll be on my mailing list. Any of those things. So, download it so when I extend the offer, when the class opens, you'll be the first to be able to register for it, because it's a complimentary class, guys, so there's no price attached to it. So get your butts in there and let's get started. I'll give you some tools to help you get started, called Worth the Work. Aren't you worth the work? You are so worth the work. And that's all I got for you today, guys. I hope it really helps you and blesses you. I hope you have a wonderful, fantabulous day. And I will see you when I see you. All right? I love you. Bye.